All right, so tell me how you're going to turn this into a coaching business and take over the world, like the emotional blockage coaching. How do you get people, especially men, to accept that, like, hey, you probably have a lot of emotional baggage that's holding you back. I can help.
That's a good question.
Right.
I mean,
maybe the $1 million question.
Well,
maybe you'd be better at all that than any of this shit.
Okay. In acting, we kind of deal with whatever blocks, all the blocks, because we want to play all different parts. I don't think that's necessary for the average person.
Fair.
I don't have to make sure you know how to apologize. I mean, maybe that would be good for you if that you have a hard time, whatever my block was.
My wife would probably disagree with you. She probably says, the number one thing Scott should work on is apologizing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it would be identifying maybe specific blocks, common, to deal with those, because there's some real low-hanging fruit, right? It could be, I dealt with my assistant and he was having some issues moving forward. And I realized it's got to be some like emotional thing or something. And it was like, you just didn't feel confident. And I don't know, I just had I forget what it was, but it has all kinds of little fears and insecurities. It just kind of helped him with that without getting long-winded on what I did.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, what do a lot of people suffer from? I mean, is it just the rejection, the insecure? Are people pushovers or not? I mean, you coach a lot of people, so I don't know if there's a common thread of issues.
Yeah. Commitment is a big one.
Commitment. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably a fear thing though, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, to me, I'd want to go like immediately you say that and I'd be like, well, what's the
fear?
Yeah. I mean, it can't be commitment. I mean, you want this. I mean, what's derailing you?
Right.
And kind of figure that out. And maybe what I do helps them and maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. But
there's a place to deal with emotional issues that you need to unblock to move forward.
Yeah.
It could be in a relationship, in work. I'm not a licensed therapist, so I can't say I'm practicing therapy.
Right.
But I think from a business point of view, what comes to mind, I had a friend of mine and she should have been running the company. She's getting paid $70,000 a year doing 2 jobs or whatever. And I said, babe, you gotta go in there and demand some money. And she just was doing the, pleasery. I don't want to rock the boat and I'm a good employee. And I'm like, that's an instrumental issue. You need to be a killer and go in there and ask for what you're worth. And I worked with her for 4 weeks, got her in touch with her power, went in and she got a raise. She got a raise and a promotion eventually. But she really, and I didn't give her the confidence. She was just in this dynamic with her employers, being a little bit of a pleaser and a good whatever. And she could not do it on her own. So I just worked with her a little bit, got her in touch with her power, got her expressing stuff. We did a couple of mock things, tell me what you're worth, got into her value. And she went in and I remember I got her so fired up. And then the morning she had her call with like this is during COVID, during the bosses. And she was like, I was like, she was in the ball buster energy and she went in and she got her raise and then eventually she got a promotion.
That's awesome, man.
And it wasn't that, I spent 5 hours with her or something. It's not that big of a deal. It's just we get caught in these, I don't know, just in our daily lives. It's not like we learn and grow in this area a lot.
Yeah.
There's no emotional, how to ask for a raise gym. Let's go work out there. So she's just locked in this energy that she's just in, being a nice little good employee.
Yeah.
But really, she's hurting herself in her career.
Let me give you a good one that came up. There's a group of guys that are loan officers that I'd say we're more in touch with our emotion, or we're at least better at expressing to each other our emotions. And one of the guys has years ago said something profound as he was helping me coach some people. He's like, hey guys, like making a sales call is just a net neutral proposition. Either you call them and you get some business, or you get better at making the sales calls, or there's some net positive, or you call them and you still don't have the business that you already didn't have. So it's just net neutral. Like, who cares? And he can express that. But then when it comes time to make the calls, and we just talked through this emotion, like this last week, we were all together, is like, there's a little bit of entitlement of like, man, I've been doing this job for 23 years. I work my ass off. I've made so many clients so much money by getting them to houses. I've saved the day on so many deals for these realtors. Like, why do I have to keep making the sales calls and staying in front of it? And there's a little bit of entitlement there. You feel it. I feel it. He feels it, where it's like, God damn, dude, like, why do I have to keep proving myself and selling you on me and selling? So I don't know if that's a fear of making the call or an entitlement or some type of blockage. What would you maybe start boiling that down to if you were me coaching loan officers, or if you were me coaching you, or you coaching me?
Me coaching myself, because I hate that too.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'd say awareness, obviously, what you're doing is super important to be aware. The next thing I think I would do is in that moment, there's a exercise we do it's so simple and it has such incredible results. It's called personal inventory by Eric. And you ask yourself, how do I feel out loud? And you check in with yourself and you answer it out loud.
How do I feel?
How do I feel? So, and you include your distractions, some awarenesses. So if I'm sitting here, I say, how do I feel? I don't know how I feel. How do I feel? I feel like smoking the cigar that went out. How do I feel? Thank you. I feel very engaged in our conversation. That's how I feel. I like what's happening here. I feel good. I feel present. I mean, that's just how I feel right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. I would try to discover what is going on in that moment to see what is it, just so you can identify it. Like, are you scared? I mean, what
I feel
is it?
frustrated, a little defeated.
Yeah.
A little, not the word wasteful keeps coming to mind. I was like, dude, did I really waste 23 years of my life building this business where if I stop working on Monday, no more deals coming on Tuesday? I
would say go there. Like, don't if you feel like why should I do this?
Right.
Entitlement. I would say, no, like express it, get into it. Don't feel like I shouldn't feel that way.
Right.
Like maybe if I was working with somebody, I'd have them expurgate. Like, tell me all this stuff.
What does that word mean?
Oh, like vent.
Oh, God.
Go over the top, like, why do I have to do this? I hate, express it. Like, and you have to back it up emotionally. Don't just say the words, but maybe get in touch with what it is that you're feeling. Express it like over the top, go into like, why should I do this? It's unfair, whatever you feel,
Yeah.
See how you feel after that. You feel a little better. Does that do it? Does that do anything?
Probably kicks up the anger a little bit.
Sometimes expressing, if you really get into it, express something kind of clears the air and you can function a little bit.
Shoulders go down a little bit.
That could be something like you're just kind of sitting on something.
Yeah.
May or may not work. You're saying, where would I start? That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to do it.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you just have to do it.
Sometimes you have to do the scene.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you have to make the call. Like, it doesn't matter how you feel.
Right.
So we can do the stuff. Maybe it's we got to get you pumped up. Maybe it's your confidence. I don't know what it is. If you could do a little personal inventory when you're staring at that phone, not wanting to make the call, to really figure out what's going on versus you just don't feel specifically what's the problem.
Right.